Here? Okay. What's up, everybody? Coach Matt from Nerd Fitness. Today we're doing the Beginner Bodyweight Kids Edition. As you can tell, I actually have my kids here, so this is guaranteed to be a hot mess. My wife is manning the camera. The dog is chilling on the sofa on a blanket, just looking at us with a little bit of like she's a little sleepy. So I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes to kind of pop in. If you are here, a couple of quick things. One is, if you have kids and you want to let us know like what their age ranges are, that's something that can be really helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and start dropping those. If you don't have a kid and you still want to kind of follow along, you can do this. You can do this just body weight. If you want to act like you have a kid who's holding you down, like I brought my 25-pound kettlebell and a bag of sand.
Or a dog.
Anyone remember? Or your dog. You could use a dog. Your furry baby. And we're gonna today kind of just take a couple minutes up front to talk through some theory around all this stuff. And then we're going to go into Bodyweight Beginner 1A and 1B from the Academy. I'm going to show you guys some different ways you might be able to integrate your kids into that. And then at the end, we're going to go through 10 games that me and the kids like to play during quarantine. They're just ways to stay active together as a family. And hopefully those kind of inspire some fun ideas for you guys too. So that's the rough plan for today. Nice towel, bud. Are we getting any comments? Anyone dropping in that you can see?
There's people watching.
There's people watching? Okay.
Say it again because people are pulling in. Like, let me know your kids.
Oh yeah, if you're just pulling in now, you probably hear my wife talking too. She's the director. If people are pulling in and want to let me know your age range of your kids, what kinds of stuff maybe you've already tried doing with them. And this is also stuff that would be awesome that we can kind of gather all together and post in the parenting Discord channel, where we can kind of talk about how we're getting through our workouts and our quarantine with our kids.
Okay.
So, okay.
Stephanie says hi.
Hi. All right. So first up, I'm going to start off really quickly with just some theory. I have some notes I'm going to be referring to. The biggest thing is we kind of mentioned this before with me and Matt Shortis on the other live stream. Every kid is different. Every situation is different. Your kids are often are going to be in a wide range of different interests as well as ages. My background. Hey buddy.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
He's a kid.
I know, but I was like, he's gonna pick something quiet to play. No, he's not.
No, he's definitely gonna pick the loud wooden blocks.
The loud wooden blocks, of course.
For sure.
So my background, I have a kid. I have a 5 and a 3-year-old. I used to run kids classes at our gym called Ninja Academy that were like from anywhere from like 7 years old to 12 years old. And then I also ran birthday parties for that, which were a hot mess, total hot mess, and that was a huge age range. Like you'd have kids coming in that were like 3 or 4 up to like 13 all in the same party, just coming in to play. So used a lot of these kind of ideas and strategies around trying to make it more play-based for younger kids. If you have teens and older kids, a lot of times they might be interested in doing it more alongside you. You don't have to necessarily make it as game-like, though you could if you wanted to, if you think they'd enjoy it. But maybe they're doing it more alongside you or with you, whereas younger kids are oftentimes going to be more like, they want it to be fun. They want to jump in. If you're having fun, they think of it as play. They're not thinking of it as exercise or a workout. They're not thinking of it as your personal space that you need. So they might be jumping on you when you're doing something, or you might be able to take some of these ideas we're going to go through today and give them a fun.
Brittany says her son will always sit on her back during planks.
Yes.
George
exactly.
says his kids are 10 and 13.
10 and 13. So getting a little older, they might like some more like competitive play, or maybe even getting into some of that stuff, some of the exercises with you. But the biggest thing I think is like just meet your kids where you're at. where they're at. And for me, it's always, I try to think of, they're invited to participate at any time, but they're not required to participate in anything. And because of that, and they might lose interest really quickly, so because of that, I tend to do much more short workouts, like maybe 10 minutes at a time is as much as I'm going to get. And lots of just like trying to stay active with them throughout the day as much as I can. Other people I know do stuff like accumulation workouts, which are even like micro workouts. You're saying, hey, I'm going to try to get 50 squats and 50 push-ups by the end of the day, and I'm just going to snag those in between work breaks and stuff. So maybe that's something you can do even if you're working from home.
Looks good.
Looks good, guys. Okay. All right. Hey, buddy.
He's okay.
Can you
sit
with
with
mommy
Brody
for a
for a
second? Yeah, exactly. See, so like I can invite them to go sit with their mother, but they're not actually going to do it. So lots of active playing stuff, accumulation goals. If you can block out time for longer workouts, I also want to say like it's totally okay for you to need that alone time and need that separate space. A lot of times workouts are like more meditative for me, and they feel like a time to recharge. So it's okay to want to protect that too. Find a balance. With my wife and I, a big thing is just like being really clear on expectations. Setting like, hey, can I take 10 minutes to do this? I'm going to go out in the garage and do it. Do you have the kids? So being really clear on like how long you're going to be doing something. Maybe do an I go, you go. You let me work out. I'll let you play Animal Crossing, whatever works. Something like that. And the last thing I was going to say here is the other thing that maybe could be a slightly different approach if you haven't taken this before is shifting your mindset from an exercise standpoint, or maybe you're trying to get like a big pump, or you're trying to get sweat going, towards a skills and practice standpoint. Meaning, for example, if I look at a push-up and I'm trying to do a workout, I want to get to a point normally where like it's really hard and it's a challenge. But if I look at a push-up as a skill that I'm trying to build, then I can practice that in little micro doses. I'm paying attention to movements. I feel like I can get practice in a short period of time, or maybe I might not be able to get that full workout in. So shifting my mindset that way to focus on skills, and that I'm just trying to set some time aside to practice, and if the kids come in, it's okay, might make you feel less stressed about if you're trying to, rather than if you're trying to stick to a timer or try to do something else with kids, because it's just chaotic. You never know what you're going to get day to day, obviously. Okay. So hopefully that all makes that's all helpful. I'm going to drop some notes if you couldn't hear because of the chaos.
I can't right now. In a minute.
Let's go through.
Don't shut the door. Don't shut the door.
Bodyweight Beginner A from the Academy. The first movement is a squat. So there are assisted squats, jump squats. Do you guys want to grab a set? If you don't have kids, you can go ahead and grab a set right now. Rowan, do you want to help me?
Your turn.
All right, so this is Rowan. Couple of things that we can do. One is my favorite, it's the kids safety bar. If you guys have never been in a gym that has a safety bar, it literally sits across your back, and then there's two handles that you can hold. So this just feels like safety bar squats to me. And a good target is to try to just tap your elbows to your thighs or just inside your knees. And you can have them count. Do you want to count for me, buddy? You want to count to 10? Uh-huh. All right, here we go. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Depending on the age of your kids too, I always think like you're not going to get more than 10 reps. So I try to make things fun, keep it like under 10 reps a lot of times. So safety bar is awesome. The other thing with kids is you can make, if you want to make it more play-based or fun, kids are like, they need to throw lots of darts at the dartboard in order to learn how to move. So like if you have a young kid and they're squatting and like they can just so flexible, they're like bouncing all kinds of different ways.
Rowan, show your squat.
You want to show them your squat? That's the mobility I wish I had. So giving them, if you like try to say like, hey, your knees are coming in or whatever, it's never going to work. So instead we can do stuff like, hey, Rowan, you want to come here and do this with me? I'm going to stand right here on the purple mat. Okay. Can you act like a frog and touch the floor? And then touch the sky? And then touch the floor? Oh yeah, you can even have the jump in. That's awesome. Right? So we could do touch the sky and touch the floor. The other thing for a squat substitution sometimes you can use are jumps. So you can lay out lines on the floor or chalk outside. And what we like to do is set it up so everyone can participate. So if I draw the lines of chalk, I'm going to start one side really narrow and then get further and further away from the other one. That way my kids or me can pick a spot to jump from, and everyone can have a place where they can be successful. So you want to jump over the river with me, Ro? You're going to try to jump from that line? Let's see if you can get past this line. Go for it. Boom!
Woo.
Nice job. My turn. Do you think I can get to that second line? What do you think? No? Boom! Eat it! That's also really good to tell your kids to eat it. So you could take that squat and do squats together, do touch the floor, touch the sky. You could use kid as a weight if he's willing, or you could totally change it around to doing like jumps together, which might feel more playful to them and gives them an external target. Okay, that's the first one. Push-ups. I don't know if I have a friend.
Is Annabelle?
Does Annabelle want to come in? You're hungry?
Annabelle needs me to wipe her.
Annabelle needs a potty wipe. Okay. So, push-ups, you guys already know, like your kids want to climb on you anytime you're on the floor. One thing, if you feel like you're not ready yet to do full push-ups, like loaded like this, you can do crawling. And if you act like you're a dog or a bear and you're giving them a ride, for younger kids especially, they can love that. Then we can go into stuff like, instead of doing a knee push-up, I'm going to rock forward, tap down, and then rock back. So that takes a little bit of pressure off your core, but still lets you do some upper body work. Then I could go into stuff like the knee push-up, or the full push-up, or stuff like that. So those are some fun ones. The other way you could do it is you could get your kids to interact with you in different ways. So hey, Roman, can you get over there for me? Every time I do a push-up, can you give me a high five? You ready? Give me a 5. Boom! On the side. Oh, use your other hand. Ah! Ah! Okay? So you can have fun with it that way, like interact with them. Okay, this time, after I do a push-up, can you crawl under me like a worm? Do you think? You ready? Can you get under there? And you can bridge up if you need to. And now he's coming on top, I can feel it. So, and then often your workout turns into a wrestling session where you just need to tickle them mercilessly to show them who's boss. Okay. So those are some squats and push-ups ideas. I told you this was going to be a hot mess. Next up, you have the doorway row, ring row. I've tried having my kids be added weight on ring rows. It's a little sketchy. So my whole thing with involving kids is added weight at home or like whatever, is I want to make sure it still feels safe. So, and I'm not trying to force something that doesn't really work. So for me, if you have a good idea for doorway rows, the only thing I found was that, or ring rows, was that if I kept my knees bent and they could sit on my lap more, I could do a little bit of a row. But what's tend to work better for us is setting up the rings, and I'll help them do chin-ups. And we can take turns doing chin-ups, and they want to do that. Or I'll flip them upside down and hold them, and they'll act like they're walking on the ceiling in between sets. So they still give me the time and space to do my quick set of chin-ups, especially if I make them hard. And I'm only doing like 3 to 6 to 8 or whatever. And then they get to play. And it's almost like my rest period is built in. The other thing, if you ever have kids with a set of rings, they just love spinning, right? Like crazy spinning. So that can be another way that like, hey, I'm gonna do my set, then do you wanna take a spin? And they might get super excited about that. I think also, depending on the age of your kids, again, a little bit geared towards younger kids right now, but if you talk to them about it and make it fun, like an adventure, like, hey, I'm gonna go do my ninja training. You wanna come with me? Or hey, we're going through a jungle and I gotta crawl through the mud or whatever. If you make it a little bit of a story, then that can be really engaging and exciting and make them want to do it with you too. Also, comment down below if you've already dealt with a meltdown today as a parent, because we definitely have. And so this is actually pretty good for us right now. Last one for the Bodyweight Beginner 1A was the farmer's walk. The biggest thing I think here is, like, even if you don't have weight, just go for walks with your kids, big long walks at the end of your workout. If you can get outside, that'd be awesome. I have my kids sit on my feet. You can throw them up on your shoulders and do carries that way, or hold them in different ways. But just getting outside, if you have really little kids, I remember one of my favorite memories was like doing a swaddle on my chest, or like putting them in a pack and just going for a walk with them and just talking to them while they were in the pack with me. That could be a way that you're getting the core engagement, you're going out, getting outside, having fun.
Someone just asked if this is being recorded so that they can watch it later. Are you going to put it up? Is it going to be on the group later?
I'm pretty sure that how Facebook works is that it will be later, and then I can download it and upload it to YouTube after the fact.
Okay.
So, all right. Any questions from that? I know this is a little different. If you're following along, just trying to do some of these things, I thought it might be better to kind of do an overview of stuff today, to give you guys like lots of tools in your toolkit. Let me know if you like this format. In the future, we could do more of a trying to follow along, but again, because with kids it's so chaotic, my thought was that could go a million different ways, so I'm just going to try to give you as many tools in the toolkit as I can today. So for 1B, we start off with like good mornings, where we're going down, or we're doing like single leg hinges and stuff. There's a couple of cool things you can do. Annabelle, do you want to be my partner right now? You want to come help me? So one thing is, if you're doing it from a seated position, you think like you're working at that forward bend a little bit, and you can start being really silly with it, and then maybe like having fun too. And I'm not getting necessarily the like heavy hinge in, but I am getting the stretch from doing that. Is that fun? And then you can also can I do one more with you, baby?
Annabelle, we'll do one more with Daddy.
You can also do the goat belly swing, which is doing your hinge while holding a small or rather large child, going back and forth. That works. And then one of my other favorites is if you're doing the single.
Go do one more.
You want to do one more? Is you can try to do balance challenges.
Rowie, wait, you'll get
So if
another
I'm here, Angela, do you want to try to push me just a little bit? And then I can try to stand up. So you can try to make it more balance challenging and fun. You can go, and same with like lunges. You can go eyes closed, have them kind of push you a little bit. Rowan, can you come here? I'll show you one more. If you want to make this a little dynamic, and you're ready for like a little bit more challenge with some jumping, you can do a bump and stick. So I'm going to stand on one foot. Rowan, push me from this side. And then I'm going to follow that push and do a hop and try to land on one foot. You want to try it one more time? If it pushes me that way, I'm going to hop. So you can let them be involved. They get to feel like they're kind of pushing you around, and then you can practice hops or jumps or balancing, which all can be fun. Then we go into the standing wall walk, plank walkout. This is where I think you can bring in lots of animal stuff. So like this plank walkout could be an inchworm. Do you guys want to act like you're a caterpillar with me? And you kind of walking forward. You guys know how to do that? So we're gonna like walk out and then walk up, walk out, walk up. So you can get some of that plank reaching out in there, but then you can take that into a million different ways, doing animal stuff, acting like tigers, acting like robots, acting like frogs. So those are all options.
I'll get you more in a minute.
For the one leg balance, we kind of talked about those balance challenges that could come up into a lunge. Rowan, do you want to show two more things to me really quick, buddy? Thank you. Oh, you want? Okay. He wants to. I promised I would let him show this. Boom. Skin the cat. You need to turn two. Boom. All right.
Red tornado.
We'll do red tornado next. Let me show them one thing real quick. Okay. So you can go back to your safety bar and do your lunges or your split squats. That once you start getting into the lunges and single leg stuff, the added weight of a kid can make a huge difference. And then, if you want to get a little bit more creative with your balance and your lunging challenges, you can play Twister. Okay. Can I show you Twister? All right, Roman, I want you to point at one of my feet and then point somewhere you want me to step it. Way over there. Okay. Now point at another foot. It can be this. Yep. And then where I want me to step it. Back there. Okay. Woo. Okay. Keep doing it. Where do you want me to go next with my next foot? That one even further. Gird your loins. Okay. So you can maybe even have fun with it that way. Like let them be a participant. You're still, again, my kind of thought or theory on this is if I want to get the workout effect, I'm going to try to do short, quick, intense sets so that then I can involve them in the play right after. So maybe I'm doing a loaded set of lunges and I'm doing one set of 8 reps on each side and I'm like burning by the end, but then I'm immediately going into play and just keeping general activity up the rest of the time so that I'm never, like they'll give me time to do one set. They might not give me time to do one full workout, but if I have time to do one set and then get them involved in play again, that's a nice balance that I found that you can kind of try to strike. Wall slides, dumbbell external rotations. I didn't really have anything for wall slides. You can try to like tell your kids to go up on the wall and like put them up, and then wrestling. And then the last one, the bird dog, is kind of like what we showed with the push-ups. You could do high fives to each other. You could have them. It might be on your back. You can go into plank position. You can do all kinds of stuff like that.
I need to go potty.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So that is a whirlwind tour of Bodyweight Academy 1A and 1B with some ideas of how you can both involve the kids, maybe make it more fun. It might be a little different. So one thing you could do is try to block out. You can try to block out, like do a single set for yourself and then get them involved in play right away because they're going to want breaks too. And then the rest of the time, the goal for me is just trying to stay as active as I can, keep them active too, right? So again, unless your kids are older, they might not like really have an awareness of working out necessarily. So that's where I try to make it real play-based. So next up, to finish up today before we open up for questions, I'm going to go through 10 games that you can play with kids of all ages. At least 3, because she's 3 and she does it with us on up. Okay. Game number 1.
Okay, Belly. Daddy wants to play a game with you.
Game number 1.
Daddy wants to play a game
Ninja
with
training.
you.
So this is exactly what we said. Like I'll say, hey, do you want to train ninjas with me? And we'll go outside and we'll jump from one thing to the next, or we'll try hanging from a tree branch, or we'll just like make up stuff, like make up little movement challenges as we go. Or maybe we'll fight. The next one, which is probably their favorite game right now, is a version of Cops and Robbers. So if you're interested in adding more play in your home and you have the room, getting a gymnastics mat like this, I think is like the best purchase we've made, because not only does it give us like, hey, we only wrestle here or we play here, like in this safe zone, you can get it up and fold it and make it into like a prison, and I can pick up the kids and drop them in there, and then they can knock it down really easy and escape, and I have to chase after them, capture them again, put them back in the prison, and then you always escape, don't you? And it's really fun to scream at them like, scoundrels, infidels, money launderers. You can just like think of all the different all the different things that you could.
You have to do that weird Southern preacher voice that you do for sure.
I don't know if I can bust it out on command. So that's number 2. Number 3, freeze ball. if you had to buy a second thing outside a mat, I would highly recommend these foam dodgeballs because they're safe for the kids. And you can get hit and they're a little bit safer to be in the house. And you guys can play all kinds of games with them. One thing we play is each color dodgeball makes someone do something different. So if I get hit with the fireball, I have to hop 5 times. Or if I get hit with the blue ball, freeze for 5 seconds. Or if I get hit with the green ball, you gotta touch your chest to the floor, which basically is a burpee. Right? So you gotta touch my chest to the floor and then come back up. So these are all ways you can add something that feels comfortable for you. You can come unfrozen, baby. Unfreeze. We talked about the animal walks. That's game number 4, or even just silly walks. If you have a mat like this, you guys want to show some silly walks? Remember when we did silly walks on the bed? So silly walks, you can do it on a bed. Is probably our favorite point, where you just like the kid makes up something ridiculous and then gets to flop down on the bed dramatically, or flop down on the mat. And do you want to try one? Yeah. And you can just play that endlessly because they love that. Next up is everyone's favorite, hot lava. You can make hot lava courses, or if you don't have like enough space to make like a big hot lava course, what's the game that you guys have been playing throughout the day? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hot lava! Get off the floor! So they do this thing where they'll just count down at any point during the day from 5, and I think it's a fun way that everyone could just like at any point someone's just like, hey, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're all jumping to try to find high ground to get off the floor. That's 5 games. We got 5 more. Next one, jumped up. All right, you ready? You standing here? I have a giant samurai sword. And if I swing it high, what are you going to do? You're going to duck down, right? If I swing it low at your feet, what are you going to do? You're going to jump, okay? So you can play this with multiple people in front of you, multiple kids, and the kids can take a turn too. You just want to make sure you're going really, really slow so they can see it. You ready, Ron? All right. High. Oh, you just got his head cut off. Low. Oh, no. You just got your legs cut off. I'll bite your legs off. Okay, so you can play like that. And one thing with the games, all these games that we're playing, is we want them to be infinite, which means there's no winners or losers per se. We just keep recycling and keep playing. So, for example, if you wanted to make it more competitive.
Hey, buddy.
Whoa! If you wanted to make it more competitive, you could have it that if someone makes a mistake, they have to do 5 squats or crawl like a bear for 5 seconds, and then they come right back in. You find ways to like get people to always be able to buy back in and keep playing. King of the log, balance challenges, so like you can play. This is devolving as we knew it would. We can play balance challenges. Okay, freeze! You gotta freeze for 5 seconds. I got 5 seconds to talk. Hey, you wanna show, here, let's show the last 3. You can play King of the Log, that makes sense. You guys can play like sumo wrestling in an area, trying to knock each other off balance if you're both standing on 1 foot. Wolf Rabbit, do you remember Wolf Rabbit? Yeah. Wolf Rabbit is a game where he's gonna face me, you would be the rabbit in this case. I'm the wolf. He can scoot further back. He can be as far back as he needs to feel like he has a place to run to. And then we're going to make a mark like on the sidewalk, maybe a couple blocks down that he's trying to get back to his home to be safe. The rabbit is frozen because he sees the wolf looking at him. But as soon as the wolf makes a move, the rabbit turns and runs and tries to get to his home. So you're basically trying to play catch, and you can change how hard it is. Chase, you're trying to tag them. You change how hard it is by how far apart they are. Another super fun game is Ninja Red Light, Green Light. Ron, you want to come play Ninja Red Light, Green Light?
Annabelle, you want to play it?
You want to play Ninja Red Light, Green Light with me, Ron? Annabelle?
I really don't want to.
That's totally fine. Do you want to play Ninja Red Light, Green Light, Ron? So Ninja Red Light, Green Light is like Red Light, Green Light, but instead of just being in a line where you're seeing red light, green light, and they're coming closer, I'm walking around acting like normal, and then whenever I turn to look, he's trying to be frozen so that I don't see it. So he's acting like a ninja. We can do it outside. He can be running through bushes and stuff. So I'll just be like, Did you guys see something? You see something over there? No? Okay. Thought I heard some. Oh no! And I was attacked by ninjas. So that can be another fun one. You're playing outside. So anyway, that was 9 games, but we're done. We're done with that. Hopefully this gave you an idea of how it can be. You can still get workouts in, still have activity, make it fun. It might be different than normal, but that's okay, at least for now.
Annabelle, you want to
And
do Red
we're
Tornado?
all in it together. Parents and kids, we're all in it together. Everyone's having a
She
weird
wants
time.
to do Red Tornado with you.
Okay, so we're going to show one last thing. This is there's a book called Roughhousing with Kids, and it has all these different games you can play.
Is it the Art of Roughhousing?
Art of Roughhousing? Yeah. Rowan, you want to show Red Tornado?
Uh-huh.
All right, this is the last. Hey, you gotta go this way. This is the last thing we'll show. You ready? Whoa! Okay, Annabelle, you want to turn?
Now my butt is hurting.
Your body's hurting. Okay.
Now my butt.
Your butt is hurting. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Was this helpful in any way?
No.
The
Hopefully
overall
so.
comment is that it's very cute. So in terms of mental health, it was probably helpful.
Okay,
It was
so it's very cute.
Yeah.
Like I said, I knew this was going to be a little chaotic trying to involve the kiddos, but this is what real life looks like, what the workouts look like. I have notes I will gladly share with everybody. I have notes I'll gladly share with everybody after, and if you have any questions, let me know. And thanks for being here today with us. All right.